Hello everybody and welcome back to another video for the day. We are heading back into r/AmITheDevil, and if you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up them wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. Also, if you guys would like to save 10% on your next order of gamer subs, use code Tommy at checkout, or click the link down below. It automatically applies your discount to the transaction, and it helps support the channel. Am I the a-hole for being the one to file divorce papers instead of my wife? Am I the a-hole for filing divorce instead of my wife? I, 51M, have been in a relationship for 15 years with my wife, Brenda, 40F, name change obviously. Our relationship was bad from the beginning, but we still have 3 kids. Natalie, 14F, about to turn 15, Michael, 8M, and Lydia, 7F. Like I mentioned, our relationship started off complicated. Brenda is originally from Argentina. She came to my country, Greece, in her early 20s, in search of her family roots in the country. We met online, and I agreed to help her find her relatives. But we quickly fell in love, or at least I did. And she came to my country where we first officially saw each other. But rather quickly, we started trying to accuse my mom of treating her badly both emotionally and physically. Maybe she was a bit immature, we do have a 10-year difference after all, but Brenda wouldn't budge. Eventually, I caught my mom threatening her while she was pregnant with Lydia, and we moved out of the house. We built a new one, then to live in it ever since. According to Brenda, my mom also refused to help her while she was pregnant with Michael, which led to her bleeding and going to the hospital with the gynecologist. I believe that lie was too far though. I mean, Michael was born normal. Now I'm filing for a divorce and going to court to take custody of my kids. Brenda is not fit to be a mother. She is lazy. She doesn't clean house daily like my cousins, nor does she cook daily. She complains about how thyroid problems caused her pain and to gain a lot of weight, and how her bones hurt because of it. She also is manipulating Natalie to be on her side. But Natalie clearly has issues, and she recently asked to start therapy again to see if she has ADHD or not, because she can't focus, but somehow she can perfectly focus on her dumb anatomy and herbs. And recently, she's also complaining about flashbacks that drain her immediately. Yet she refuses to say what they are about. So, that's another liar in the house. Not only that, but she also says that she feels a lump in her throat, and whenever she eats carbs, even if she swallowed them. I know her therapist said that she might develop an eating disorder, and I know that she was 39 kilograms at the age of 13, which translates into roughly 75 to 85 pounds if my math is correct. She gained a kilo and seems healthier now, but she doesn't even seem to do her fake addiction anymore. Anyways, I believe that I will win in court. I mean, I'm a chief engineer. I am able to take care of the kid. Brenda was lucky that she got a lawyer. In fact, Natalie was saving up to help her pay him by not eating in school and keeping the lunch money. Brenda is also unemployed, and she won't find a job here. I also told Brenda that she would have to pay for my lawyer if I won, and go back to Argentina exactly how she came. But in case she does win, it's not like I can pay a lot for child support, so am I the a-hole? Saying they're an engineer and have the means to take care of your kids, although at the same time you say that you don't have enough to be able to pay child support. Yeah, no, make it make sense, dude. If your relationship didn't start off good, then there doesn't really seem like much of a reason for you to still be going through all these troubles these many years later. You would think that you would want to solve these things before you even have kids. I don't really think I've ever understood anybody's logic when it comes to people having a bad relationship and then thinking, let's add a kid to it, that'll solve everything. Also, saying the flashbacks drain people immediately. Yes, because that's kind of how stress can work sometimes. It kind of sucks when you're feeling all good and happy, something comes up from your subconscious, and then you start thinking, oh yeah, that still happened and that's still there. And then you just kind of feel like you need to take a seat for a second. Best friend bailed last minute on my baby's first birthday party. Hi guys, I could really take some advice. I am hurt and disappointed. Over the weekend, my baby boy turned 1. Me and my boyfriend decided that we were going to have a small party because we didn't want our baby to feel overwhelmed. So we decided that we will have the grandparents there and our 2 best friends. I had sent the invites out back in December because I was so excited and trying to plan the perfect birthday. Both of our best friends said they couldn't wait and that they would be there. On Thursday, 2 days before the birthday party, my best friend called me and told me that she feels so bad that her long-distance boyfriend is unexpectedly coming a day early for his athletic event, Friday. And because he is coming early, she wanted to leave Friday night and skip my baby's birthday. That is Saturday morning. He is going to be staying in the state next to us, and she has to drive 2 hours to get him. I brushed it off in the moment because I told her not to worry about it, but after I really thought about it, I was feeling disappointed in her. I understand that they are long distance, but going to my baby's first birthday party is a once-in-a-lifetime thing to do. We had a lot of people wanting to come to our baby's birthday, but we turned them down saying that it was only for grandparents. So our best friends that were invited are very special to us, considering we were only supposed to have our parents there. Anyways, I called her back and let her know that what she told me disappointed me. I told her that she could still go to the baby's party and leave to see her boyfriend like the original plan, but ultimately, I told her I can't change her mind. If she wants to do something, she will do it. Later that night, she sent me a few text messages saying things like, I'm sorry I even thought to do that, and I will be coming to his birthday party. I told my boyfriend about it, and he got upset. He didn't understand how our baby's godmother could try and bail at last minute. He told me I should just uninvite her, but I ignored what he said and told him that she was going to still be coming. The next day comes, and I call her again to clarify that she is coming. She literally tells me that she is not going to be there, and she changed her mind again, and that she's leaving to see her boyfriend because he's going through some things. And that's what her heart is telling her to do. I am pissed. How can you say that you're going, then not, then say you are again, then say never mind? I tell her the same thing I said the night before, that I'm disappointed in her. Later that night, Friday night, she just shows up to my house unexpectedly. She wrote my baby and me a letter, and she gave me flowers to congratulate me on a year of motherhood. I honestly was pissed when I saw her initially. I don't like when someone shows up to my house without texting first. Also, I feel like she comes over to relieve her own guilty conscience. She asked me if there was anything that she could do to help out with, and I told her that she could just watch the baby while I finished decorating the cupcakes and hanging up the decorations. Maybe an hour later, she says that she has to go because she's driving to go see her boyfriend. Later that night, she told me that she made it, and their boyfriend wanted to wish my baby a happy birthday. I feel angry and disappointed. Part of me understands her perspective of wanting to see her boyfriend since they are long distance. But at the same time, she knew about this day back in December. His birthday was March 1st. She could have gone to his birthday and still seen her boyfriend. He was staying there for a few days too, so it's not like Saturday was the only day that she could see him. She also claims that she is my baby's godmother, but she didn't even come to this party. My boyfriend's best friend's car broke down the day of our baby's birthday, and he literally rented a car because he didn't want to miss our son's celebration. That to me really showed the difference in my best friend versus his best friend. I also know two hot takes community. Am I being dramatic? Do I need to let this all go? Am I being inconsiderate towards her and her boyfriend? Please help. So basically, originally they were planning on coming, but then some kind of opportunity that they haven't been able to do in a very long time pops up, so then they pick one thing over the other. It's not the end of the world if they can't make it to the kid's birthday party. Yes, I know that the birthday for your baby is important and everything, but just because they aren't able to go, and by the way, the people that you originally were intending on inviting are still coming, i.e. the grandparents, which were the main ones that you wanted to invite in the first place, they're still coming. How do I, F24, decide whether to stay with my boyfriend, M21, after hooking up with someone else? I have been with my boyfriend for just over 3 years, and we have lived together for about 2 years. We work together, which is how we met. And we have always had an incredible relationship. We have really good communication. I can talk to him about absolutely anything. We are great at living together, and we have lots in common. He knows me inside out, has supported me through some mental health issues, and has always made it clear that he is 100% committed to me and wants a future with me. I've had occasional doubts about our long-term compatibility, but he always made it clear that he would support me in my ambitions, and I love the life that we have together now. So, I figured it would all work out. Fast forward a few months ago, this new guy, 22M, started at our work, and I got on well with him from the start. I didn't think anything of it first. I share bantery conversations with plenty of guys that I work with. He has a girlfriend and always knew that I had a boyfriend, so it never occurred to me that there could be something more. Over time, I felt more drawn to him, and it became clear that there was a bit more of a vibe between us than others. I found myself starting to think about him outside of work, to the point where I felt really guilty, and I actually told my boyfriend about it. He was a little hurt, but understanding, and appreciative of that I told him. I still had the thoughts after this, but I thought they would just go away with me. Then we had a work party with unlimited free alcohol that we were all at. This is where I screwed up. I got far too drunk and ended hanging out with 22M while my boyfriend went out with another group. We both somehow drunkenly confessed to liking each other and having thought about each other for ages, and ended up making out at his apartment. A friend saw us go off together, called my boyfriend to tell him, and he came to the apartment livid. I was just leaving, but he saw us kiss and was obviously really upset. Since then, I've been in hell emotionally. My boyfriend is unbelievably dignified about it all. He has said that he can forgive me and is willing to work through it with me because he thinks that I'm worth it. I love him deeply, feel profoundly guilty and ashamed of myself for hurting him like this, and really don't want to lose him because I love flirting with him and having him around me. But I'm also still thinking about the other guy, who I feel a genuine connection with, and know that I would find it very difficult to move past. I have told my boyfriend this, and he is willing to give me space to figure out what I want. But I know this is really hard for him, and I don't want to make him wait around for me. I feel very lucky that he's been giving me this much. I know that he would have been fully justified in walking out immediately. I know the right thing to do is work things out with my boyfriend and try to forget about the other guy, because I have something really good with him. But I'm just not sure I will be able to do that, and I really don't want to find myself back in this situation again in a few months for my boyfriend's sake and mine. There are so many conflicting emotions going around my head. I really can't see a way out of this. How do I figure out what I want to do? As far as I know, the other guy is still with his girlfriend, and she knows what happened. He told me that he is also feeling conflicted because he has a connection with me but doesn't want to hurt anyone more. I do not need to be told that what I did was selfish and reckless. I know that I am suffering a lot for it. I also know that I have no one to blame but myself. I knew what I was doing by getting that drunk. I just want to know how to move forward from this with the lowest chance of regretting it later. Hey, yeah, I cheated on my boyfriend, and for some reason, I'm not really sure how to move forward with this. Okay, so you basically have two very blatant, and you really shouldn't be asking random people on the internet for this kind of common sense answer. It's either you dump your boyfriend to go with this person who you now have a new fling with if he happens to also then be single, or, actually try and improve yourself and be a respectful, loyal girlfriend. It's not really that hard. Why do you make it sound like it's so hard and difficult for you? And you know what the consequences are for one of those actions. Very much like if you happen to stick with this person, your boyfriend's just gonna up and leave. So eventually you're going to be, single. And one of those probably is a bit easier to make considering you're already dating one of the people involved and the other person happens to also already be in a relationship. So it's not like being a loyal girlfriend or anything is a bit hard, but yet you, like I said, you make it seem like it's a bit of a skill issue of sorts. I don't know why I have to say this, but yeah, no, I've always said it. The best way to not get caught cheating is to never be in a relationship. I don't know why people want their cake and eat it too. Am I the a-hole for blowing up on my boyfriend for shaving his hair on a whim? Forewarning, this is my first ever time doing anything like this, so if my story isn't clear enough or is poorly written, I apologize. I will be active to answer any questions that aren't clear. Am I the a-hole for getting mad and starting an argument with my boyfriend because he shaved his hair without saying anything? So first we'll start with some backstory. My 20F boyfriend, 21M, and I just moved in together at the beginning of January. This happened maybe a month into living together. This was my first time living on my own or with a partner. He previously lived with his older brother. At the end of 2024, we found out I was pregnant, unplanned. And it had been rough, but he has been absolutely fantastic throughout the whole thing. I couldn't ask for a better person to accidentally get pregnant with, if I'm being honest. Like most people might know, the first trimester can absolutely suck for some women. Especially when I'm someone who wanted to wait until after marriage and school for kids, and am in the middle of community college experiences. So I was sitting on our couch one afternoon, sitting in on a Zoom meeting and parenting lessons, and he suddenly spoke up and said that he wanted to go get a haircut. We live right next to a hair salon, and his friend was an employee there. At this point, he had a mullet that was about to reach the top of his shoulder. Not a long one, but still was the same haircut that he had since we met. I found him very attractive with his hairstyle. Unfortunately, he is a man that quickly gets bored with himself and want to drastically change something, usually his hairstyle. So, I'm sitting on our couch after he left, assuming that he was just going to get a trim up in the prenatal lesson, and I get a text from him. He texted me, and he was either going to buzz all of his hair off or get a bowl cut. A freaking bowl cut. I told him I didn't appreciate him not talking to me about this at all and just sprung it on me. Got me pretty upset with him. It felt like he did it after he left because he knew that I would disagree if I brought it up to me in person. But I ended up choosing a buzz for obvious reasons. As a newly pregnant woman with so many negative thoughts in my head that I never wanted to say out loud, these issues have now been talked about, and I'm working to better my outlook on the pregnancy. So, him drastically changing his look with no discussion and caused another sudden change in our life. He looks like a completely different person with this buzz cut, and doesn't look like the man that I fell in love with. Many will say that I'm being superficial, that it isn't okay that I don't find them attractive. And that's okay. He had those same feelings. I might be shallow for wanting my partner to have a hairstyle that I find attractive, and this is most definitely is not one of them. I ultimately felt bad in the end, but his buzz is still slowly growing back out, and I've had a month to adjust, and I still don't feel the same. My drive was already about at 5% this entire pregnancy before this, so having me find him slightly less attractive as well definitely doesn't help. He, however, is the great man I described above that retorted to my argument that he'd love me if I lost all of my hair, talking about having a medical reason to not have hair. And I fought back saying that it's not the same. I continued to ask him if I dyed my hair bright blue or shaved half of it or all of it off without talking to him first and allowing him to say in the matter. He swore up and down that he'd love me and find me attractive all the same. But I have doubts. I thought that's how I would be, and when the time came, things changed. My biggest thing is that he did it without talking to me about it, and when he gave me options, they were real options. I never truly had a say. He was going to do one of them no matter how hard I disagreed. All in all, I have told him that I would love him to grow his hair back out and have a mullet. I have told him that I miss it. We had a huge fight that night that ended with me completely coming out with how I had been feeling about all of the sudden changes in my life and about the pregnancy. He's not the best person to argue with, doesn't really understand fully what I'm trying to say, just view it in his worst possible option mindset. So, I end up spending the entire time having to say the same things over and over again and explain my feelings in 20 different ways that finally get him to understand. All in all, we have resolved the major issue here, but I will be completely honest that I still don't find him all that attractive. I love him, but to me, there has to be a certain level of attractiveness mixed into it. So, was I the a-hole for flipping my stuff on him? Was he the a-hole for shaving his hair? For the first part, yes. For the second part, no. Just because the dude happens to get his hair cut does not mean that you have any sort of say in the matter of whether or not he can get his hair cut. It just seems really stupid. Because at the end of the day, dude's just doing something that he likes, and, you know, it's kind of his body. If he wanted to dye his hair blue and that wasn't your ideal preference, well, you know what? Tough cookie. Plus, also, that probably stings if you happen to do something that you enjoy or want to do, and then your partner tells you that you find them less attractive. Try flipping that around, see how you feel. But with that, that is going to have to be with the video. If you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit the like button, leave a comment down below to start up them wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on them notifications. I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye!